In this short video, we'll show you how we changed the deck boards on this 20-foot flat deck trailer. This is how we did it, and hopefully it gives somebody some good ideas. This trailer is 7 feet wide by 20 feet long, and it has 2x6 untreated deck boards on it. As you can see, there's a lot of rot, and they've been on there a long time, so it is time to make the change. Looking from underneath, we can see that there are a bunch of screws on all of the cross beams into these 2x6s, and they all have to be taken out. Most of the screws came out quite easily as the boards are rotten, but some were actually in there pretty good. There were quite a few screws in that trailer, but once we got them all out, we stripped all the boards off and took them outside. Those boards were more rotten than they looked before. Once we got them outside, cut them up into 4-foot sections. They were not treated, so we were able to use them as firewood, and someone we knew could use them. Put the pieces on a pallet and they were good to go. The next step in the process was to clean up the frame a bit. There were some heavy bolts that were rusted in, so they needed to be cut out of there. The handy dandy cordless grinder with the cutoff wheel did the job. Now that the frame was all cleaned up, it was time to get the new boards ready to be installed. We decided to go with untreated 2x6 rough lumber. It was cheaper, and the last one lasted a long time. And this way we can stain it or paint it whatever color we want. Started laying the boards out onto the frame. They were only 16 feet long, so they had to be spliced part way. This splice will end up being in the same location as the old boards, just to make it easier and more efficient. They're 6-inch wide boards, so we hope they would work out evenly. As we got all the boards laid out, it looked like it was going to work out pretty good for side-to-side spacing. I think the middle board ended up being just snug in there, but it worked out okay. Here's an example of how I thought wanted to stagger it, the two pieces, but when they laid it out it wouldn't reach the cross beam, so it wasn't going to work, so that's why I went with all the same length at the front and then all short at the back. Before installing the boards, I drilled some new holes because the screws were going to go in from the bottom same as they were, because that seemed to work okay, so we wanted to make sure there was 2 holes. At the end of each board we put a 5/16 carriage bolt in so that it would hold the ends solid. And the screws from underneath will hold it really good once we get all the bolts in and boards on. Started the first board on the very outside edge, just flush with the frame, and worked our way towards the middle. Here's a shot of the short board at the back, about 4 feet long, plus the full length one the first one's done. Now quite a few more to go. Put the boards as tight together as we could, because they're probably going to shrink a bit, and then they would fit better side to side. So just continued the process until it got to the end. Here's some shots of pretty much the finished product. Took a bit of work, but it paid off in the end. Now it was time to crawl under again and put in new screws. So it ended up with 2 screws in each board on each cross member. Forgot to mention a little earlier is that we started from each side with the boards and worked our way to the middle, and the middle one fit right in there. Or you could have went across and just measured it out, and it probably would have worked out too. With all those screws and all those bolts, the deck was solid. Here is a completed project, and this is the way we did it, and hopefully it helps someone in the future. There's probably other ways to do it. Thank you for watching.